Hiya, and welcome back to Wonderlands. Today, we have a brand new god tier Nah, it's just really good. I'm not sure if it's the most broken thing ever. I think it is. Not broken. Not like it needs to be fixed. God, let us have nice things, please. This new melee weapon, this new bonk weapon, which is kind of the kingpin of bonk at the very least. Weapons. This fixes a problem that was already kind of good, or fixable, I guess, but this weapon right here is basically the new one-handed bonk stick, which is very akin to, what is it called? In For Honor, there was like this giant spike club called, someone will tell me about it and yell at me. Anyways, I trust. I trust. This is also referred to as Salt and Battery. Now, this comes with two legendary effects, Salt and Battery. Salt is very similar to Rampage, if I'm not mistaken, which essentially is melee attacks increase melee critical chance by 20%. Every single time you hit, then it will basically detonate and then it will reset. So basically you'll hit, miss, but every single time you miss, you get better at detonating a critical chance. Now, your guys' eyes do not deceive you. This thing crits for 200%. Critical damage by 200%. It's pretty damned crazy, okay? Especially if you're already building for critical damage within your rings and all manner of things. So needless to say, this is pretty good. Assault is an okay perk. I think it's neat. But this also means this weapon doesn't really have a great amount of crit chance, so that it will stack and become better as it goes along. But Battery is where this thing kind of takes on a new form. Battery summons a storm dagger, or a dagger of storms, basically a tornado. Every single time you hit, you'll summon this giant typhoon that starts spitting out shrapnel just about everywhere. Also, you can get a random effect on this, which for me, it's decreasing my spell cooldown, but you could also get caustic on this. Caustic is the thing that's insane for elemental type damage stuff. So the potential for getting an absolutely cracked version of this is pretty huge. You need to get a very good version of whatever the last one here, or Archmage. You could get a very good version of this. Caustic, Echo is probably insane, but it seems like these things can also be fantastic. This says minus 20% attack speed. All of them seem to have this, and yeah, you don't feel this at all. Also, you guys can see critical chance is 0. This basically is just going to add, so yeah, it basically means that you can only crit eventually, if it makes any sense. But yeah, status effect on this would be huge. I think we're always going to have that 100% bonus critical damage. That's always going to be there. But we have a couple other ones here to test out. We are not gaining any bonus to poison besides... we have that, which is not even a thing, really. I don't even know why we have that. Do we have a melee one? I think we do, but it's not as good. We are going into this with elemental damage on activation of action skill by 35%, and of course melee damage on this, as well as some frost damage on this, and nothing on our melee weapon. And yeah, if you could have consecutive hits on this, yeah, I think that's the best enchantment for this as well, consecutive hits. Dude, I wish I would have thought of that before we started the video. I would love to see if consecutive hits can detonate basically the dagger storm. Probably not, but it kind of just synergizes regardless. The fact that you're going to be hitting and you're incentivized to hit a lot to get that critical hit would just be incentivized through being able to stack damage. Also, you attack very quickly with this, even though it says minus 20% attack speed. In fact, I guess we should use our Fear Knot, because that's going to give us the most like kind of linear little speck of damage, I guess. So we use our Fear Knot pistol. But other than the 35 here and then the 40% melee damage, we're not gaining a lot. Not from our weapon and not from our gun, besides a little bit more melee damage here. 30%, it's actually not that bad. Oh, also this is the thing I think that's sequencing really well with this weapon. It is this right here. Whenever the Fate Maker deals gun damage, you are going to build stacks that basically let you do one huge payout of melee damage, and then it resets. So if you happen to like scale up your damage immensely and then whap, hit, and then you have an AoE that stays behind and scales off of that high-end hit and just starts chewing through people, and you're able to get that to detonate on that huge critical proc, which you don't even need to because everything's dead at that point. We messed with this last night. This is absolutely the biggest takeaway from the thing, and I haven't even equipped the class mod on yet. Let's do this. Let's do this, and then just melee. If we back up, you guys will see that dagger storm just chewing through them brutally. And this is not even a volatile, this is not even chaotic. This is just what it is. And again, those dagger storms will start chewing through people. This is not even like a good element. They just died. It's not even an element that we buff in any way. If this was cryo, which we have one that's cryo. We have one that's cryo. Can't wait to test it with you. But that is madness. Also, it's a fast attacking weapon. It feels heavy. It feels nice. It doesn't feel like the weird like two-handed polearm one that everyone was using where you're like, you know, you're just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I love it. Yeah, so I think if we compare them actually, assault and battery to the other assault and battery, it's the same thing. Yeah, we have attack speed, status. Maybe that's always going to be the same. Man, I just like when I see stuff like that though. When this is always the carbon copies, because it's just, there's nothing to hunt for variability. Like if you could get one that didn't have melee bonus or had a ton of attack speed that could synergize with this better, then hey, there's a version of this that's actually worth hunting and specifying to get. But there's not really that. So when you get one of these, you basically just need to get the right element and then the right this. And that's pretty easy to kind of have. Not easy, but it's attainable. Whereas not the perfect craziness, seems like it's not there. This one's actually pretty cool. This one's actually way more valuable to me. Every time we successfully score a melee attack, we're going to be cooling down our action skill, which is actually the one thing I kind of need to come back faster. So that works out perfectly. And this happens to be cryo. So let's test this one out. This one I think is going to be even more nutty. And I think I actually might have a cryo thing, like a cryo on activation of action skill, get cryo damage somewhere in my inventory. Sorry, I got heartburn like crazy. Just do this, activate this on that, do this, and then just melee, 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 melee. Oh god. We don't even have an on activation increased cryo damage. That's just that. Golly. Also, I should maybe throw our blades far away so that it's not like skewed. The thing that's also helping this, I think this is the kind of synergy that makes this nuts, is this. So for those guys who do not know how they convert 30% of your damage, actually what it does is it makes you hit twice. So when you hit with the thing, you'll notice that if I do it slowly and let's go to Murder Church. We're gonna come back here anyway. Also, I wanted to go somewhere else that's not this place, but it's just too easy to. The enemy has a full health bar, no immunity phases. We can see all the damage happen. It's not like, and give a minute and wait. But if we go over here and we melee once, you guys can see that. Yeah, so it summoned 2 typhoons there. Now I don't think they stack, and I don't think you can have like an unlimited amount of them. Maybe. Yeah, there's 2 in sequence right there. I wonder what the cap is on Dagger Storm. Also, ow. Let's do that. Yeah, so there we go. Finally, when it starts detonating and stacking, things will just melt. And frankly, the thing that makes this crazy is that you can walk away. And also, we're not built to do a ton of status damage, which is seemingly what the weapon is kind of built for. But we can do this. And again, every single time we melee, we're going to be decreasing our cooldown for our action skill when it's not there. So we're going to be able to have a Dagger Storm that much more, as well as we have a Ghost Blade, Reaper of Bones if we wanted to switch to that as well. And in fact, I think that actually might give us a good bit of, yeah, because also this is the thing that's crazy about the weapon, is what we were talking about on stream. If you could find one with dark magic as a base, or even the one that we currently have where it's cryo and then we have dark magic conversion, but if you could have one that's just like, this is going to be the best stat stick, heal stick in the game. Even if you're not playing melee, you just hit one enemy, bonk with a blood, because this can come in any element. So if you hit it with dark magic, there's going to create a typhoon storm that's just sitting there and healing the hell out of you. Now, granted, you need to make contact and hit them, but still, this is going to be just like a heal stick, a heal bonk, bonk heal, bonk, and then you just a typhoon just starts ripping them out with dark magic, and you start healing passively from it. Also, I think it's a dot effect, so it's going to hit a lot. And again, for ranged enemies, we can just use Executioner's Blade. That'll eventually help. Also, come here. There we go. Stay there. Also, it just sounds meaty every single time you hit. It's like fa-doof, fa-doof. Also, for the enemies that are in the air, we can just use that, as well as this, as well as that, and then yeah, everything just feels great. Also, the way it sounds like you're like a bunch of like a blade, you're hitting someone with it's like you're mailing someone with like a sock full of nails. It's like fa-ching, fa-ching. But again, we're staying alive really consistently, actually. And again, this is all healing us. That's partially why. Also, it's freezing people. So yeah, that just killed them with the damage. Are you alive, sir? I can't tell. It's so cool. I'm so happy that this is the direction that they've done, where it seems like this is what they're wanting. Also, yeah, look at that. One hit, and that storm lasts forever. That lasts such a long time, dude. And this is not even like primordial. It's not like crazy. We're not like superseding it exponentially. If we had consecutive hits on this thing, as well as all the other crazy, it could just get psychotic very fast. I do think this is helping a lot because it's basically making us hit twice and using it as dark magic, allowing you to heal a lot. Again, what I was kind of saying in the beginning of the video was that this is not like solving an exact problem. And what I mean by that is it, like, again, to me, I really hope eventually we have a weapon that's like maybe like a summon, like a pixie kind of idea, except not a pixie, but instead summons like a little demon with like a little head and arms and claws, and it's basically just a ripoff of Death Trap, but you can throw these Furiors and they count specifically as melee damage, and you can literally throw these things and they will hunt somebody and then start tearing them up. Just something that can have like a melee distance effect, because yeah, frankly, that might not be the best choice, because a lot of the raid bosses kind of like zigzag and like cover massive ground, so your enemies would be like floating towards an enemy for like 20 years and you'd still kind of be like, god damn it, what the hell. But at least it'd be an option, a better option than kind of like, oh, I hope these guns with wings detonate an executioner's blade that does this much damage, but maybe if we do it a lot it can work out. Ugh. But no, I'm over the moon for a lot of the gear that seems like it's all built to actually have a purpose. Also, I want to see what the new armor looks like. Yeah, but quickly let's use it with the pistol. So we're gonna use our, this should scale up the damage exponentially. This is our pixie, right? Pixie? Yes, it's our pixie. Okay, so our pixie, I just want to see, because this is gonna be the one that gives us a bunch of cryo damage whenever we activate our ult. We're gonna do this. We're gonna start meleeing. Back up a little bit. Yeah. And also, we're not using the weird glitchy thing. This right here, it's basically Contagion can like have an instance where like it trades the damage back and forth and just nukes an enemy. No enemies were present. It's just like pure damage. Which is too fun. Honestly, I don't know if you would need I don't know. The Murder Church is the best place to see like you get destroyed. Like there's so many badasses that spawn that you should get like ravaged essentially. But we were kind of okay there. If we just throw a bunch of these are not the cryo ones, and we just melee once, and like we'll slowly walk towards enemies. We should be healing in a godly amount. We're not running, we're not playing super aggressive. I'm kind of waiting for enemies to shoot me enough to where, yeah. Although everybody's dead before I can even get to them. Hit you once, sir. I just need to put down a tornado so I can start healing off of you. And no enemies spawning or hitting me. There we go. You took a chunk out of my health. And my health back. My health back. Come here, you. Bonk. And bonk. I hate when it locks on like that. That little dive. It's terrible. Bonk. Dude. Dude. So, yeah, if you had a primordial version on this, if you had consecutive hits, I definitely want to make an update to the build. But again, it's not that we were always able to do damage, dude. We were always able to do damage. So it's not like that's not one of the things. But, yeah, to me, it's the thing that, like, I just want to be able to throw some of my melee damage and actually have it, like, feel good. I don't care if I have to, like, build up, like, be patient or something, anything. Like, you know, expend a lot of ammo, because I only really need it for bosses. Only bosses are like a mile away and certain racks, and then Ghostblade can't chew through them enough to where you're like, yeah, this is totally a thing. Anyways, one thing I wanted to show you guys though is we also have a brand new class mod that is this. I'm not sure where it really belongs, but anyways, it's gonna give you a status, a huge amount of status. I think when you have it primordial, it'll be like 430 status damage, which is just good. That means like damage over time. Stabomancers, Graveborns, stuff like that, spell shots in some regard, are going to be doing great, just status damage. Stabomancer is going to love this class, I think. But it also has a kill skill. I wonder if Graveborn can detonate something that explicitly says kill skill. I hope it does, because that'd be really cool to give value to the Graveborn in the future. But status effect chance increased by 65% for 6 seconds. This is definitely, especially if you get a primordial version, dude, seems like it is going to very much be like the big pooba. And it's funny because things like convert damage, dark magic damage, doesn't go up with primordial things. This, weirdly, the new class mods do. They scale with higher like, you know, Ascended will be even higher. So it'll be cute. It'll be interesting to see how much this is actually doing. Now, again, oftentimes when you see like status increase or critical damage stuff, it's multiplicative, meaning it's based on your base scaling. So if we go over here, you guys can see that my critical chance for my crit chance, you guys can see that I actually have a pretty high amount. I had a pretty high amount of critical. I think it scales off of your melee weapon, because this was my So it's at 30%. Okay, so it's based on your equipped melee weapon. So we're actually doing 10% critical chance in that stack. So it'll be 20%, 30%, 40%, and then we'll crit, and then we'll go back down to 10. Gotcha. But we had like 45% critical chance normally. So some weapons scale at a lot lower. I mean, this is our only one that's kind of a slight give me. It's got a little bit of spell Greatborn things in it. Otherwise, this is not a class made for us, okay? Well, we're gonna have the higher one that scales, and we're gonna see. Do we have any perks that can help with this? Oh, actually, that's not bad. Efficiency is huge for us staying alive, but that's it. It's the only one that's like relative. Okay, well, that's something. Anyways. Oh my god, dude, that looks so sick. Oh my god, that looks so cool, this new armor. Holy shit. Look at it. It's gonna be all weird and floppy until it's not. Dude, let's melee. Let's do one of these. Open us up a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. This is quite beefy. I was not expecting the status thing to have like a giant spiky shoulder blade and some crazy like wolf feet. That's pretty cool, dude. I'm in. It's very like tattered, but yet also pretty sick. I wonder how that looks without my coloration of it, but that looks dope. Why does everything have this all-seeing eye thing here, huh? But that looks spectacular. Let's see if our damage just gets absolutely juiced. Let's throw this over here so it's not helping. Let's start meleeing. Bonky, bonky, bonk, bonk, and bonk. That was better, like a lot better. That's like a lot better. Maybe it was just a fluke chance. Let's go here and see if we can notice a sizable difference, because there's just a lot of badasses here. But also we're doing cryo damage, so a little skewed, but still. Let's chuck a bunch of these. Let's hit once. There we go. Yeah, so see, it doesn't spawn 2. It's only 1. But you can spawn multiple, it looks like. But they do have a cooldown. But dude, yeah, no, that does so much more damage. Also, like one of the builds I wanted to make, I just never could find a good enough class mod. But one of the things I wanted was to get basically this, a ton of status damage. You can get like another 3 points or 2 points in here, another 2 points in here as well. Just one, like 2 points here, and then that's it. But I don't know if it can be in this configuration. But if that is a thing, that's going to be nuts. Having double status damage, critical chance, and yeah, like status was already really good. This is just going to make it even better, and I'm happy that, again, status took, like, it used to be a thing in Borderlands 1, and a little bit with Kree. Oh, also, we're about to get down. Heal. Yeah, see, we're not healing as much. You can see how much that was helping us, that convert damage, though. So we'll need to find another way to heal. I wonder if in some ways it's better to... yeah, because that does so much damage now. I wonder if in some ways it's better to have like maybe a guns with wings or an SMG with dark magic, because that could be your heal stick, your stat stick, I mean. Also, we could scale off of dark magic damage instead. So if we had a bonk weapon that scaled off of dark magic, honestly, that might actually be the play for a lot of our things. Also, what we could try, which I haven't been doing, is we could try Reaper of Bones, see how that plays. But yeah, you guys can see that my health is in like a dead zone right now, and it won't leave because, yeah, pain. But again, there's still this issue. Come on, please, thank you for taking a knee, pop. And that's, yeah, just delete it. I think we're doing like 100,000 per dot, per hit. If we hit twice. Also, if we activate Reaper of Bones, I'm not, this is gonna say it does bonus damage, but I don't think this gives us another instance. No. That's specific to convert damage. That one gives us a double hit. That one, this one's just basically making it so whatever damage we do a little bit of bonus dark magic, fire, or whatever. But see, that's the problem, dude. Not cool. Somehow we died also. Yeah, see, Reaper of Bones needs to be reworked so badly, man. It just seems like, especially with Chaos Level 35, how much damage you take. It's brutal. Now, granted, again, if we were doing the convert dark magic, we'd be able to heal a lot. I don't know if we'd be able to heal enough, because it's, yeah, it's a little weird. But no, this seems like it's the king of damage. So I wonder what the play is, especially with the retooling of cryo, especially with my build that's not even specific to cryo. I wonder if, for me, like an ideal build for especially our Krieg build, if we could have a class mod that's like this, that's basically just doing a ton of status and a ton of on kill, get a ton more chance of status, and it's also within like Graveborn and Stabomancer. Ideally, Stabomancer being like the main skill attribution in there. And we had a dark magic version of Bonk. I think that would be the thing that sets everything on fire. Also, there's a new spell that I wanted to show you guys. I haven't gotten it to drop yet. It makes me sad, but it's like an AoE Nova spell, kind of like the one we're currently using. But I think it's like a poison, and it does like AoE Roy damage, like a Nova, which is awesome. I think it's every time you melee, it releases a Nova, which is great. Works for us a lot. But if we could have that, and then we would build for dark magic, because now we have a dark magic scaling, like dagger storm essentially, that's just nuking things. Also, we can scale up our melee damage, which makes that hit even harder. And then we have this that's making that hit even harder, but also giving us more status, chance, and damage. I think we'd be able to have like a stupid tanky build, because we'd be constantly sucking in Reaper Bones. Now the question is it possible to get this class mod with these two attributes? And then honestly, we don't even need Reaper Bones or Graveborn like allocation of points, but it'd be cool if they synergized, because to me that would be like a good way of keeping your health always topped up, with just having a stupid amount of dark magic gain as well as efficiency, as well as doing a shit ton of damage. Because that's the one thing that you kind of have to make a choice, and that's the one thing where like cryo is just so good that you kind of need to build for cryo. But this is insane. We're not even using the best version of this, by the way. Like this is if I switch to our pixies, this pixies, yeah. So if I have this and I activate this, even if I don't use it, I just chuck it somewhere out in the world space. I don't know why that went somewhere. Anyways, we'll do that. We'll do this. Yeah, one shot. We didn't even like need to cast Dagger Storm. It's just that we're scaling up so much cryo damage, dude. Oh my god, it's so stupid. Also, apparently how did that happen? Why did the dark magic hit you? What went down? I don't know. Come here. Come here. Yeah, oh, it's because I'm converting. No, I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why there was like a dark... Are they like launching projectiles? One more run! Also, we never don't have our thing on cooldown because of the effect we have on this weapon, which is that cooldown perk, which is nice. We can do this, we can do this, not even gonna put it on you, we can do this. Melee 3 times. 1, 2, 3 times. 3. Dude. Dude. Please leave it, Gearbox. It's fine. Okay. Let me have fun, okay? Again, I would hope that there's in the future, there's like a spell that scales off of melee damage that's actually substantial, can deal with like ranged enemies. The only thing that sucks though is you do need a face tank. This is why I think the dark magic thing is actually pretty good, because you do need to face tank in a way. Although it does look like, what is happening there? Like it's like the Dagger Storm, I think, is hitting them. Yeah, something's, I don't think it's my maybe it's my Lich that I'm seeing that dark magic proc. Hit you once, you're just gonna get chewed up. As long as I stay in this area too. It's also a pretty good radius, yeah, because you're still taking damage. Uh-oh. Let's do this real quick. Melee, melee, melee. Where is he? Where's the version? Was that him? He was somewhere in there. Okay. Yeah, no man, this is nuts. I'm so happy with this melee weapon. This is what I hope is the thing, because again, like when a new DLC comes out, yes, it's not what people are expecting, but at the very least, it could be fun to have something new to play around with. A lot of the new things that came within the Shark DLC to me were just kind of like, again, dynamite. I haven't seen one person be able to make that actually like scale up really well. It's also just finagly as is, where at least a lot of the new spells, you're like, okay, no, I can see what you're doing there, and they're scaled appropriately, where they're like, okay, no, you can actually melt with these if you build around them. Whereas with a lot of the other things, it didn't feel that way. With this, it feels absolutely like this. Again, the bonk weapon is awesome. I hope this is a new thing for them. I do hope that there is a weapon in the future that, again, has the ranged melee weapon answer, whether it's the same thing except it also detonates gun damage, so that we can summon a ton of Executioner's Blade. It doesn't really solve the problem, because you need to hit a boss that's already far away at least once to detonate the thing, and they'll walk out of the the area probably. But anyways, this is the thing I'm not telling you. Just like the AoE effect is subject to a lot of pain in your ass, essentially. It's just annoying. Enemies will walk away from it, especially raid bosses. So but also a lot of the melee damage we always were able to deal. Like again, Livewire would only be, would only help all of the things we're doing. Although I kind of wanted to show the absurdness without live wire, and in a lot of cases without even like the right enchantments. Like if you had a skill that was a build that was specifically buffing whatever the element this thing is doing, because this is predominantly like an elemental kind of build that can scale high off of melee as well, which is just fantastic. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to me ramble about these. Again, we're kind of in a weird like lull period where until Gearbox can kind of make something for us to do and reasons to do them. Whereas right now, this is kind of the reasons. And honestly, I'm having fun, at least right now. We'll see what the future holds. I can't wait to make some builds around some of these items, although I'm sure people are going to also do that, so hopefully be patient with me. But thank you so much for your time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again. We stream an ungodly amount on this channel. We also have a channel where we're talking about a lot about anime. Honestly, that's where I'm kind of like, in my lull period, I'm watching anime. Okay, so check out that video if you're into anime. If not, then never mind it. Don't subscribe to the GRINN channel. Also, we do meme things there as well. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hopefully I can see you again, and goodbye, my friends.